While Africa is underrepresented on the World Heritage List, Africa accounts for some 12% of all inscribed sites worldwide, at a proportionally high percentage. 39% of these assets are on the World Heritage List in danger, faced with various contemporary threats such as climate change, uncontrolled development, poaching, civil unrest, and instability. Many of Africa's wonders risk losing their outstanding universal values. UNESCO is committed to spearheading international efforts to draw on the vast potential of Africa's cultural and natural heritage as a force for poverty reduction and social cohesion, as well as a driver of sustainable development and innovation. How do we protect and preserve our heritage? A focus on this segment, and Director General, Ekiti State Bureau of Tourism Development, Wale Ojo Lanre, will speak to us. DG, thank you so much for joining us on Insights.
Good day, my dearest sister. God bless NTA.
Thank you so much. Now let's begin. Why is Africa underrepresented on the World Heritage List? Let's hear from you.
Thank you for this brilliant question and inquisition. It is sad that Africa, with its huge population, has been underrepresented when it comes to UNESCO heritage sites. Remember, we have 1,223 UNESCO heritage sites in the world. 1,223 UNESCO heritage sites in the world. My sister, Africa is one of the largest continents in the whole of the world. Africa has only 46, 46 gross underrepresentation. It is sad. It is sad because Africa has the largest first class civilization in the world. You talk about Egypt, you talk about the empires, you talk about the kingdoms, where we have heritage, both tangible and intangible heritages are there. But it is appalling that in the UNESCO, Africa can only be given just 46. It is sad. And why? The question is why. Let me tell you, it is a combination of many factors. Number one, the colonial heritage. Their measurement when it comes to measuring the heritage site of Africa, they use Western profiling, Western standardization that align with Western sites, while undervalue that of Africa. That is number one. We have institutional problem too. Institutional problem are one, do we have the legal profiling, the legal testament and framework for heritage tourism in Africa? Very few. What is our view about heritage? What is our view about tourism? Most of these African states do not see tourism as an essential revenue generation, a potent energy for revenue. Expertise. Do we have enough expertise that can even give us the correct profiling, documentation, and dossier documentation of this heritage? These are the problems we are battling with. The discordant notes when it comes to heritage siting, heritage profiling, heritage documentation.
You mentioned we not regarding what we have. Could you explain further?
As the potent revenue generation, development, and employment generation for this country, we don't have the legal framework for it. The different heritage sites we have, the monument of Oyo, the monument, the heritage of Benin Empire, the southern, the Islamic heritage in the north, and the cultural heritage in the east. We are having only two UNESCO heritage sites in Nigeria, the one in Osun Osogbo and the one in Suko. There's no community engagement, there's no PP, because that will be private public partnership on this heritage site. But by and large, there are some individuals who are practicing and even protecting this heritage, both tangible and intangible heritage. There are many in Nigeria. This is the problem, my sister.
Okay, now, aside a workable or effective legal framework. What is Nigeria not doing that other nations are doing? And they're actually seeing the benefits of these
Yeah. Uh,
sites.
yeah. There are many things like the political will, there will be more funding, there will be focus, and there will be tourism development master plan. And I have been saying this, we must have a tourism policy first and tourism development master plan. Because if you have tourism development master plan, we will have involved and include heritage tourism in the development master plan. We will have include and involve the policy that we get the heritage tourism development in it. Let us have this document, tourism policy, tourism master plan. Let me tell you, there's a state in Nigeria that all of us know about tourism. There was a governor who came there and developed the tourism the sector, but there was no policy, no policy, no tourism development master plan. As he left, the successor crumbled, whatever he achieved crumbled, because there are no fundamental planning, there was no legal structure for this. And this is what we are creating in Ekiti state, so that by where we are living, whatever we are doing now will be sustainable, because you know this is where we started from, this is where we are, and this is where we are going. That is what we are doing. And you can see that in heritage we are sequentially taking our tangible and intangible heritage to the public. Now, last 2 weeks we were on Efon Ridge, where we dine and wine and dance in the cloud. There is a place in Ekiti where the heart meets the atmosphere. That is where the cloud kisses the heart. We were there. There is a place there called, that is effort. So we are trying to make this possible because we know the heritage site. We have a lot of heritage site and we are developing them in special order with the policy backing of the development master plan. So all states in Nigeria, they should not just wake up in one day and started there are many states now, they will wake up in one day and they go with one festival. This festival, that festival, not this festival, November festival. But at the end, when they leave, the governor leave, this festival goes down. Nobody will hear about the festival again. It won't be sustainable because they were not planned on a policy. There's no policy to back it. There's no legal framework. So for Nigeria, any state in Nigeria that want to make tourism a revenue generator, employment creation, and empowerment and development also must plan it, have a policy, tourism development master plan.
Okay, so what does it take to come up with a very strong or effective structure for the tourism sector?
Tourism is about low hanging fruit. Let me give you an example. If you relate Mandela, when Mandela was alive, I visited South Africa, and I find out why was tourism so thriving in South Africa, and understand that Mandela believed South Africa was a mice country, meeting, incentive, conference and exhibition. And because of that, he pumped money into the development of tourism sector. He created a lot of agencies, and he created a particular agency that used conference organizers to South Africa. And that was why when Mandela was the president, most of all these international conferences, exhibitions, events were held in South Africa, because the more it's very cheap. The more people comes to a country, the more generation the revenue they have. Let's give an example. If we want to hold the Association of World Gynecologists in Nigeria, about 500,000 members. If 500,000 members or 250,000 members of this association converge on Nigeria for 3 day conference, how can you imagine the amount of money,
Hmm.
the amount of funds that will be pumped into the economy? Let me give you
Yes.
an example. Some few weeks ago, golfer, about 280 golfers converge on Ado Ekiti from different parts of the world, 280. And we put on a research. Each of the golfers spend nothing less than 130, conservatively 130,000 naira per day for 3 days. At the end of the day, 100 million 250,000 was injected into the economy. Imagine, just 250. That is it. We have 45 waterfalls in Nigeria, 45 waterfalls in Nigeria. None has been developed to an international standard. Zimbabwe has only one waterfall. You understand? $1.5 billion was raking last year. The Niagara Falls between Canada and the Niagara Falls brought a lot of revenue generation. Let 3 billion naira alone, 3 billion naira. Let the federal government give any state 3 billion naira that has waterfall, 3 billion naira only. Develop the waterfall. It will give us 100,000 jobs and revenue will be coming in. This is simple.
So we need to begin to tilt our attention to the non-oil sector. Now, how do we preserve these assets for the sake of posterity? You've talked about employment generation. How do we preserve them for the sake of posterity? Because if you take a look at some sites in Saudi Arabia, in Jerusalem, in Dubai, many of them, in Spain, in Peru, many of them, we call all these, we see history.
The preservation of this heritage site is multidimensional, multidisciplinary. The community who owns where these assets are planted, are found, must be taken in. They must know that it is not just for ritual purposes, it is not just for cultural purposes, but it's for economic and intergenerational purposes. We must let them, we must create awareness within this community. The community must know that this is their product, this is their asset. And the more they protect the asset, the more money, because if the assets are protected, look at Goree Island, for instance. Look at the Cape Coast, the Emina Castle. You understand? You will see that these assets they belong to the people. Let the people own this. Let there be a creation of awareness among these people who owns it, and let the government take them the economic benefit of it, because the asset can be there for ritual purposes, for cultural purposes, for dance purposes, but if you don't allow them to see that come, the more you prevent, protect, enhance, and market this place, the more the people come here, the more your economy grow. They will buy food, they will sleep in a hotel, they will engage your people. Some will have network with your people, and maybe the chapaism can come here and all those things. So this is one of the things we have to do. Two, documentation and digitization must come in. We are in the area of digitalization. We must digitalize, document, and make proper profiling of this site, so that when it is ready for UNESCO to take over, the experts who have done the proper profiling and documentation of this asset, and that will be for it. Then two, there must be intercontinental collaboration, intercontinental, interregional collaboration. We may have Ososogbo. If there is no intercontinental collaboration on Ososogbo, when people like the late Susan Wenger came in all the way from Germany, settled down, brought all our influence, network them, and talked about also Osogbo. Osogbo will not be today be a UNESCO center. So there must be intercontinental, interregional collaboration. Secondly, the education, like I said, the awareness must be there. Then the government must make the proper, like I was going to say, there must be legal framework for protection, branding, and enhancement of this site. If we have enhanced it, if you have properly, I mean, Nigeria properly profiled, documented, and do all those things, if the UNESCO now call, that's why we say, no, 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 no. This is it, this is the rule, and it should be accepted. So these and others are what you can do to make this a generational thing. And like I said, the generation, the Gen Z must buy into this. We are getting old. We are getting old. The Gen Z must see the cultural, the economic, and the importance of this to their sustainability of that place. Those are part of what we can do.
Okay. Now, from your explanation, what I could really deduce is that we really need to embrace what we have. Embrace partnership. There has to be political will. People need to know. We need more advocacy. Now, some continents are cashing in seriously through our culture, our sites, and other monuments that we have. In leveraging them, can we reduce poverty within the continent? Can we increase partnership within the continent so that we can have more investors coming to help us build or plan or have these sites or have more traffic at these sites? Can we do that? Is this feasible
No, you
from
can
your
do
own
that.
angle as
You
an
can do that.
actor in the sector?
Let me give you can do that. One, we must form a synergy and network with the private sector. Tourism is private sector driven. The government provide the conducive atmosphere. Let's give an example. Last year, one man called um, Otumba Wanle Akiboboye started what we call Ipada, diaspora tourism. About 14,000 diaspora visited his resort, and almost from all members, a lot of people from the African continent. But most importantly, people from Casablanca, the Brazilian and co, they visited that place. See what Mama Nika is doing. Mama Nika is using her own like cultural intangible cultural heritage to lure as many foreigners to Ikoyi, of course,
Gallery.
of Lekki Gallery. See what we are doing with Ojudi Oba. See what we are doing with Iduroko in Ekiti State. See what they are doing with Iliji Festival in the East. These are what it is about collaboration. That's why I said there will be intercontinental collaboration, one between private and public enterprise, private sector and international sector, so that as to bring this even the religious tourism. Are we talking about Baba Adeboye and all the GOs having their conferences? I remember when Baba Adeboye came to Ilogbo Ekiti in Ekiti State, over 4,000 people converged on that small town in Ekiti, and all the tourism, all the that is religious tourism, and all the hotels all in Ekiti were taken over, full occupancy. This is how we can do it. The tourism industry is not for Nigerians to survive. What I know, tourism is inexhaustible, oil is exhaustible. We should now start to plan for tourism development of Nigeria, and we have to leverage on heritage, culture, education, ecotourism, ecogenesis, community participation. This is how we can build Nigerian tourism and make it enviable. Imagine, let me give you an example. There's a country in this world, it's only 27 million people. Last year, no, 2019, 25.5 billion people visited this country. That is Malaysia. Yes, and what is Malaysia produces oil? It's a manufacturing, but Malaysia deposited and promoted the tourism sector of the country so well that 2.5 million people visited a country of 27 million people in a year. Can you see what you can do with tourism?
All right, DG, before I let you go, should we put all these recommendations together, make them work effectively? Where do you see this crucial sector in the next 5, 10 years?
Yes, if the government we decided, we Nigerians decided to make tourism a pillar of economy, of course we can. Because I believe if Nigerians could do this and we feed that place with people who understand tourism, not political, feed them with people who understand the nitty-gritty and the integrity of tourism, then Nigeria will move forward. So we have the document. I have a lot of documents. I've written a lot of memos to even though the present president of Nigeria, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, that we need to develop this sector, and there are many ways to develop it. Not you can write memo, but let the memo work. Let it work. That is the problem.
Director General, Ekiti State Bureau of Tourism Development, Wale Ojulari, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this segment. Thank you very much for your thoughts. We really appreciate your contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you. And I want to remember that this way I'm wearing is a suit. It's made from our intangible tourism heritage. Asho Okay. It's our heritage too. Thank you. God
That's,
bless you.
that's good to know. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
And that's it for this week on Inside. Do join us same time next week for more on the program. My name is Nnamdi Odikpo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.